Have you ever noticed the same relationship dynamics playing out no matter who you're with? You might think all men or all women are the same. Different faces, different roles, but somehow the same old painful story repeats. One day it's a romantic partner, the next it's a team member or a client. It's easy to blame bad luck. I'll let you in on a little secret. It's not random. It's a pattern embedded in your energy field, and patterns like this aren't punishments. They're invitations to heal, upgrade, and expand. What if I told you those loops can be broken quickly and cleanly? Not by working harder, years of talk therapy, or trying to be better, but by shifting the frequency you're emitting. That's the magic of quantum healing. Welcome to Break Free from the Burnout. This is for you if you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur who's ready to make a real difference in the world despite doing all the right strategies and tactics. Something hidden is slowing your success. You're listening to Dr. Anastasia Chopelas, physicist turned energy healer, your guide through the quantum shifts that create real-world results so you can grow your business with more impact, income, and ease without burning out. Listen in, your next breakthrough starts now. Let me tell you a story about me and my repeating mother pattern. In my first marriage, I thought, why did I marry someone that treated me just like mom did? They even shared the same birthday 20 years apart. Do you see the irony in that? Then after I left that painful relationship, I went into two more, one brief and one that lasted 10 years and yielded 2 children. This series of relationships on the surface looked totally different, but deep down, they echoed the same emotional patterns. They mirrored the dynamic I had with my mother, highly critical, demanding, even explosive, yelling, blame, then my walking on eggshells, afraid to be open, and none of it was aligned with who I truly am, what I wanted my life to look like, or what I stand for. And yet, I kept attracting it and even felt doomed to live this. After the third relationship unraveled, I stepped away completely for 20 years. I'd been in and out of dating during that time, but I knew that I needed to figure out why my relationships kept repeating the same cycle of behaviors. I knew that I was the common denominator and that other people's relationships didn't run on this dynamic. Like, why? Here are some of my key aha moments. First, the reason I didn't see it coming each time was because it felt familiar. My internal warning system didn't go off because this energetic pattern was wired into my field from childhood. It felt like they were my family. My subconscious read it as normal. And because of that, I was broadcasting a signal that said, this is what I allow. And guess what? The people who matched that frequency were the ones that showed up. It was like 2 tuning forks at the same frequency. You ping one, the other one rings, I'm here. Second, the constant criticism from childhood carried on in my own head. It's true. You become your own parent when you're adult, whether you agree with your internal comments and dialogue or not. I would express my internal disappointment when I didn't perform up to snuff, then feel terrible afterwards. I joked often that I stayed married to my children's father for 10 years because we agreed. He said everything was my fault, and my internal parent said everything was my fault. Until I woke up one day and said, what's wrong with this picture? And third, one of my friends asked me an innocuous question. If you were to total up your moments of peace and joy versus your moments of sadness and pain, where would the balance be? I struggled quietly with this because I knew I had to change something, but wasn't quite sure what yet. The interpersonal dynamic, mainly in my personal life, traces back to childhood. and I kept reliving it over and over until I said no more. It was about this time, a bit over 30 years ago, that I embraced energy healing and began using it to transform myself. I did the deep energetic work to shift that pattern out of my field. And you know what? That repeating loop stopped. The yelling stopped. The disrespect stopped. The emotional roller coaster stopped. I no longer allowed it. I started attracting people, both personally and professionally, who honored me, collaborated with me, and matched the new frequency I was broadcasting. That's the magic of healing in the quantum field. And this is what I help others do now. You might ask yourself, why do these patterns keep showing up repeatedly, even when we think we've done the work? Because the universe, your soul, your field, whatever you want to call it, isn't trying to punish you. It's inviting you. Each repeated relationship pattern is a neon sign flashing, hey, there's something here to look at. It's not random. If you see a pattern, it's time to look at it more closely and seek a solution. You are not doomed. You have choices. When I considered confronting my ex with what I needed, instead of being afraid of the consequences, I reframed it into a win-win. Either we solve it and grow together and it gets better, or we end the relationship and it gets better for me. If you're attracting the same kind of partner, boss, client, friend who pushes the same emotional buttons, chances you're still carrying an unhealed wound in your energy field. It might be from childhood, a past relationship, genetic, or even something ancestral or karmic. And as long as that frequency is vibrating in your field, you'll keep drawing in people who match it. People who are tuned to that same emotional station. And here's the tricky part. The details change, but the emotional imprint doesn't. So your logical mind says, oh, this is different, while your energy says, same old, here we go again. The good news is you can shift it. When you recognize that repetition is just unhealed energy playing out in real time, you stop blaming yourself or others. Instead, you start getting curious. You wait, you observe, you listen. See a behavioral loop? I told my daughter that recently when she asked, what do I do about this behavioral pattern that she's watching? And I said, just wait and watch. Don't say anything. A week later, she raved at how powerful that was for her to discover the real issues instead of getting emotionally trapped by guilt and shame. That loop you're in, it's your soul saying, you're ready for the upgrade. Healing that pattern doesn't require years of digging through the past. It's about clearing the energetic imprint that's keeping you stuck. And once that's gone, the loop breaks, the lessons land, and your relationships, both personal and professional, start to transform, sometimes overnight. Business is a relationship mirror. Here's something that most people overlook. Your business relationships reflect the same energetic patterns as your personal ones. It's not compartmentalized. You have unresolved energy around control, worthiness, boundaries, or trust. It'll show up just as much with your assistant, your clients, or your team as it did with your ex or your parents. Why? Because energy doesn't lie. It doesn't say, oh, we're in a business context now. Let's behave differently. Nope. Your field is broadcasting your energy out 24/7, and people who match those frequencies show up accordingly. One client thought she'd finally healed her relationship wounds. She'd left toxic partners, done therapy, done the inner work, but then she hired a VA who subtly disrespected her boundaries, ignored her decisions, and made her feel small. That assistant didn't listen to her work instruction and did things her way instead of the way that was requested of her. Sound familiar? Different role, different story, same wound. When we cleared that energetic imprint, the old assistant didn't tolerate the change and quit. And this client immediately hired someone who respected her and followed her work instruction. And then there's Barbara, a relationship coach whose business had hit a brick wall. For 6 months, not one new client. When I tuned in, I felt a lingering energetic entanglement with an ex, even though they had parted on good terms years ago. She was surprised. It didn't feel unresolved to her, but we cleared the energetic residue anyway. She called me 2 hours after our session declaring, 6 new people signed up for her program since we last talked. We released her ex's energetic imprint and entanglement, and everything shifted. Ask yourself, do you have clients who don't respect your time, try to talk your prices down, or hesitate to pay you even though you have a contract with them? Do you have clients who blame you for the lack of success even though they didn't do the work? Do you feel drained speaking to them, but you hesitate to fire them? These are just a few of the dysfunctional dynamics that can occur between you and your clients that could indicate an energetic pattern that needs clearing. This is why I say your business is a mirror. Every interaction reflects what's happening inside you, not as punishment, but as an opportunity. How do you like that reframe? When your energy field shifts, your business dynamics shift without hustle, without push, without forcing anything. You start attracting respectful clients who honor the work you do for them and pay you without hesitation. And this is where the most exciting part comes in. You can stop the loop. You're not doomed to keep attracting misaligned clients, draining partnerships, or disrespectful team members. You're not broken. You're broadcasting a signal, and the good news is you can upgrade it. Every repeating relationship pattern has an energetic signature. It's like a scratched vinyl record that keeps repeating on loop in the background of your life. You may not be consciously aware of it, but others can feel it, even if they aren't consciously aware of it either. They respond to it without knowing why. But once you recognize the pattern, shift the frequency, everything starts to reorganize. This is what my relationship energy reset method is designed to do. It helps you pinpoint and release the energetic imprints, keeping those loops alive. You don't have to relive the old trauma or spend years in therapy. When the energy is cleared, the behavior stops. The broken record loop ends and the new pattern begins. Take Susan, for example. She held on to deep resentment toward her father for over 40 years. After one session, we dissolved that entangled rage energy. The following week, she called me and said, I can't even muster up anger against him anymore. It's just gone. And the impact rippled through her business and her personal life. She grew her income by 30% in 1 month. Her energy changed and clients started showing up without her doing anything new. Her family commented to her, who are you and what have you done with Susan? One shift in her field opened the floodgates. That's how it works. When you shift, everything else follows. If you're now nodding your head and thinking, wow, I've lived this, you're not alone. As 80 years of research at top universities have shown, these patterns don't just show up in relationships. They sneak into your business, your health, your confidence, and your peace of mind. The good news? You don't have to keep carrying the invisible weight of old emotional contracts and unhealed patterns. Awareness is the first step. So I've created something to help you recognize what's really running in the background. It's called 10 Hidden Signs You Have Unresolved Baggage, Preventing Your Business Success. And it's completely free. This guide walks you through subtle yet powerful clues like imposter syndrome, scarcity thinking, or always attracting clients who drain you that point to deeper energetic patterns ready to be cleared. Go to healersu.com/hidden and grab your copy. Let this be your first step toward clearing the loop for good. Thank you for listening to Break Free from the Burnout. You'll find resources and show notes on our website at breakfreefromtheburnout.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Anastasia Chopelas, sending you golden healing light and success vibes on your journey to becoming an entrepreneur who is aligned, confident, and prosperous. Your gifts are so needed in this world.